The Dance of Justice, the Intrusion INT. Golden Ballroom. Astor Hotel in Nige, the opulent golden ballroom of the Astor Hotel, glitters under massive chandeliers. Manhattan's elite, dressed in extravagant gowns and tuxedos, mingle at the Silverton. Annual charity ball. Tickets cost $50,000 each. The air hums with wealth and exclusivity. Margaret Silverton, 60s, poised, dripping in diamonds, stands at the center, commanding attention. Her son, Alexander Silverton, 35, handsome billionaire heir, observes the crowd with detached boredom. Suddenly, Kesha Williams, 32, black, in a simple navy blue maid's uniform, enters with her daughter, May, 8, clutching a worn doll, her hair in neat braids. The room falls silent. Kesha's presence is a stark contrast to the glittering crowd. Margaret, how dare this woman bring a child to the most exclusive ball in New York? All eyes turn to Kesha and Maya. Kesha's shift ended 2 hours ago, but Maya had forgotten her doll in the women's dressing room, and her tears had forced Kesha to return. Maya *, Mommy, why is that lady screaming? Kelisa, calm down, sweetheart. Let's get your things and leave. 2 security guards approach, blocking their exit. Margaret raises a gloved hand, diamonds flashing. Margheriti, we have intruders. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Kesha holds her head high, used to this kind of scrutiny from her childhood in elite schools on scholarships. Alexander watches. From across the room, intrigued by Kesha's dignity and Maya's innocent confusion. Margie Alexander, dear, look at this embarrassing situation. These people have no boundaries. Security guard, Mom, I need to ask you to leave. Kasixa, of course. I just came to retrieve something my daughter forgot. The Madgar, read how convenient. Just when the richest men in New York are gathered here. Maya, why are you so mean to my mom? She works really hard to take care of me. The room freezes. Margaret pales. Alexander watches as Kesha kneels to Maya's level, whispering something that makes her smile. There's a grace in Kesha's movement that captivates him. Do you guys know how to dance? My mom dances beautifully. She taught me classical ballet from YouTube videos. Alexander, drawn by an impulse, steps forward, ignoring Margaret's attempt to grab his arm. Alexander, may I have this dance? The crowd gasps. 200 of Manhattan's elite are stunned as the most eligible billionaire asks the cleaning lady to dance. Kesha hesitates, her eyes wary. May I go, Mom? Show them how beautifully you dance. Kesha takes Alexander's hand. The orchestra begins a waltz, and Kesha moves with flawless classical ballet technique, her navy uniform transforming into elegance. The room is speechless. Margaret's face twists in shock. She underestimated Kesha. The dance ends. Silence. Kesha and Alexander part, and the crowd remains stunned. Margaret, impossible. Where would a person like her learn to dance like that? Maya, Mom, everyone saw how amazing you are. Kesha hugs Maya, her eyes locked on Margaret, recognizing the same predatory look from 15 years ago. Alexander, you danced like a professional. Where did you study? Kesha, long time ago. Margareta, long time ago. I'm sure it's impossible for someone in your position to have classical ballet training. Victor Hartwell, 50s, renowned dance critic. For the New York Times approaches, studying Kesha intently. That technique. I recognize that style. It's from the Royal Ballet School. I only know one person who danced like that. Ace, blood runs cold. She grabs him Ay's hand. Kesha, we have to go. Vaxa, wait, you wouldn't be. No, impossible. Kesha Richardson died in a car accident 15 years ago. The name hits like a bomb. Margaret pales. Alexander frowns, confused. Whispers erupt among older guests. Elderly woman Kesha Richardson, the prodigy who was to be the first black principal ballerina at the Metropolitan Opera House. May Imam, Why are they talking about a dead person? Emargare because your mother is not who she says she is. Takes a deep breath. For 15 years, she's hidden as Kesha Williams, running from her past as Kesha Richardson, the ballet prodigy destroyed by Margaret's schemes. Scene 2. The past. Revealed FLASHBA -15 years, a Geo-Int Metropolitan Opera House dressing room, night Kesha Richardson, 20 radiant, in a ballerina's tutu, prepares for a performance. Margaret enters, her presence icy. Emagarvi, you have talent, Kesha. But talent isn't enough. This world has rules. Certain doors don't open for certain people. Kesha *, my talent speaks louder than your prejudices. Margaret will see. Weeks later, fake intimate photos of Kesha flood the media. Accusations of drug involvement surface. Sponsors withdraw. The Metropolitan terminates her contract. Kesh's career is ruined. She vanishes, taking the name Williams to survive and raise Maya. Back to present into Golden Beach, a Rome, and Mater. Famous Kesha Richardson. What a coincidence that you show up at the ball of the family that helped you so much in the past. Alexandria, Mom. What are you talking about? Margaritam, talking about justice delayed. Your new friend isn't just a cleaning lady. She's a professional liar who cheated the dance world 15 years ago. Mawe, Mom, are you okay? Kesha looks at Maya, then Margaret, and finally Alexander. She's no longer the naive 20-year-old. She's a survivor. Kesha, to Margaret, resolute. You're right about one thing. I'm not the person you destroyed 15 years ago. The crowd leans in, sensing a shift. Kesh's voice carries a strength that silences the room. Scene 3. The counterattack tea. Kesha's apartment night. Kesha sits at her kitchen table, surrounded by documents, birth certificates, medical records, date-stamped photos, evidence contradicting Margaret's lies from 15 years ago. Moya plays in the living room, unaware of the storm brewing. Moya, Mommy, why are you looking through those old papers? Keshakadiaz, organizing some things. Sweetheart. The phone rings. Dr. Patricia Chun, assistant principal at Maya school, speaks. Dr. Chunmrs. Williams, some influential parents are questioning whether Maya should continue at our institution, citing allegations about your past. Kasika Dr. Chun, I understand. Let's schedule a meeting. I have information that may clarify these allegations. After hanging up, Kesha pulls out a yellowed business card. David Kumar, private investigator and reputation recovery specialist. She dials Kasifa David. It's Kesha. Kesha Richardson. I think it's time to accept your help. 2 hours later. David, 40s, intense, former journalist, sits in Kesh's kitchen. A thick folder open before him. Davidiksha, I never stopped investigating your case. Margaret Silverton didn't just destroy you. I found 6 other women, Black or Latina, all with promising careers ruined by her over the past 20 years. He spreads out photos and documents. A pianist, a soprano, actresses, a sculptor, a writer, all targeted with fake stories and planted. Accusations. Maya, Mom, what are those photos? Kaze has series of brave people, my love. People who've been hurt but may one day see justice. Davd Margaret uses a PR firm specializing in social crisis management. They plant false stories to destroy. Threats to the established order. I have financial trails, emails, recordings, but I need her to expose herself fully. Kaxa, what if I told you Margaret's planning to destroy me again in the next few days? And this time, I'm going to let her get very close to success. That's dangerous. If she plants a convincing story, Kishish won't. I'm not the 20-year-old who thought talent was enough. I know how she operates. Kesh. A shows David a WhatsApp group with former Astor Hotel employees, waiters, guards, receptionists. Invisible people who know the elite's secrets. Kes, do you know the advantage of being invisible to people like Margaret? They do everything in front of you, thinking you don't exist. For 15 years, I cleaned offices, emptied trash, organized documents they left carelessly. She opens an old shoebox filled with flash drives, photos, printed emails, and a digital recorder. Kashai documented everything. Suspicious conversations, compromising documents, emails they threw away without shredding. Margaret thinks she's hunting easy prey. But she's been hunted for years and doesn't even know it. Mewe, are you like a secret detective? Kashes is something like that, sweetheart. Sometimes when powerful people hurt others, someone has to collect evidence to show the truth. Devi Gasha, if this is what I think it is. Margaret Silverton's about to discover that underestimating you was the biggest mistake of her life. Scene 4. The Fall INT. Margaret's mansion morning. Margaret wakes, confident, coordinating her final blow. A planted story accusing Kesha of manipulating Alexander for money. She dials a reporter. Margaret Alexander will see what a manipulative woman she is. The reporter's voice is tense. REPOR Mrs. Silverton, we have a problem. Someone leaked our agreement. And there's more compromising documents about other women you removed from their positions. Amayargi, what kind of documents? REPOR bank transfers, recordings, emails. It's all with the Times. The story breaks. In 2 hours. Int. David Kumar's apartment. Same time. *KESHA stands surrounded by journalists, activists, and lawyers. She's no longer the frightened cleaning lady, but the architect of a meticulously planned operation. *DZ. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Kesha Richardson, one of the most talented ballerinas of her generation, and the woman who's documented 15 years of abuse by the Silverton family. Alexander arrives, summoned by KESH's urgent message. Kesha, what's going on? Kesha, we're about to find out who your mother really is, and why she destroyed my life and 6 others over the past 20 years. The tablet shows evidence. Recordings of Margaret instructing journalists to plant stories. Bank transfers to PR firms. Emails plotting to remove undesirable artists. A recording plays. Amarajieriti, these people need to understand their place. When they rise above their station, someone must remind them of reality. Alexander, my God, she really did it. At the Astor Hotel. Margaret hears her own voice broadcast nationally. Margaret, a person like her, should never have access to our world. It's about maintaining the natural order. She tries calling lawyers. Allies' lines are jammed or ignored. In hours, Margaret becomes a social pariah. On social media, #Justice for KESHA trends globally. Videos of Kesha's dance at the ball go viral, her grace contrasting Margaret's cruelty. Int. TV studio. Night. Margaret attempts a desperate TV interview. Margaret, these accusations are absurd. I've always supported diversity in the arts. David, prepared, plays a recent recording of Margaret disparaging certain types of people. The interview collapses. Margaret stammers and storms out. Scene 5, A New Beginning. Int. Kesha's apartment. Night. Alexander visits. Maya does homework, unaware her mother just dismantled a dynasty. Alexander. Cha, I need to apologize for my mother, my family, for everything you've been through. Cassidy, you don't need to apologize for someone else's crimes, but you do need to decide what kind of man you want to be. Amaywa, Mom, why are so many people talking about you on TV? Kayasake, because sometimes, when powerful people hurt others, someone has to tell the truth. Today was our day. Int. Margaret's mansion. Same time. Margaret is alone. Employees quit, friends ghost her, the foundation's board ousts her. She looks out at the city she once ruled, realizing she underestimated Kesha. Margaret, a cleaning lady. Her phone rings. Alexander. She pleads, but he's cold. Alexander, you did this out of cruelty. Now face the consequences. Scene 6, The Legacy INT. Lincoln Center 6 months later. Kesha stands on stage as artistic director of New York's first inclusive ballet school, funded by public donations and a $10 million gift from Alexander. Maya, now 9, dances in the front row with children of all backgrounds. Maywaye Mom. You turned your pain into something beautiful. Margaret, now living in a modest Queens apartment, watches KESH's success on TV. Her empire is gone, contracts canceled, plaques removed, the Metropolitan investigating past discrimination. Alexander redirects the Silverton fortune to social and arts programs. During a rare visit, Margaret questions him. Margaret, why are you doing this? Alexander, because our legacy shouldn't be about who we exclude, but who we include. David's book, The Dance of Justice, becomes a bestseller. Kesha uses royalties to expand her school nationwide. INT. CNN interviewed DAYNTRVI Kesha. Do you forgive Margaret? Kesha forgave her, not for her, but for me. Holding anger is like drinking poison and expecting her to die. But her actions still have consequences. KES's school now trains 500 children. Maya, with her mother's talent, dreams of dancing, knowing her voice matters. Ext. Lincoln Center performance night. Margaret attends, unnoticed in the audience. Maya spots her. Maya whispering to Kesha. I think she finally understands. Kusik understands what, sweetheart? Maywaye, that talent has no color, and trying to dim someone's light only leaves you in the dark. Kesha smiles, hugging Maya. From the ashes of her destroyed dreams, Kesha built a future where no child like Maya would face what she did. True revenge wasn't destroying Margaret. It was rising so high she became irrelevant. Fade out. Text on screen. Sometimes justice is slow, but when it comes, it rewrites history in a way no one will forget.